two, one. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the last episode of 2020 for Platinum Podcast Season 2. Season 2 will be continuing in January, the beginning of January. So don't worry. We will be continuing further episodes of Season 2 there. But today, I have a very special guest with me. He's a brother from another mother. And I'm pretty sure whatever project I've been involved in, you guys have seen him here right next to me or on top of the other project that we're working on. So today we have the CEO of Represent Hmong, my brother from another mother. Like I said, we got DC Thao.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just been busy,
How
trying to get everything in line.
how was Christmas? I know we didn't spend it together. We spent Christmas Eve together for a little bit. It was a
Yeah.
very fun night.
Yeah. It was a long night too.
Yeah, it
But
was. I lost my
yeah, but
phone.
yeah, I don't know how you even lost it. I remember you were texting me in the bathroom and then all of a sudden you just completely stopped texting me. So
Yeah, I don't know where it went, honestly, and I don't know. Anybody else can't find it, but anyways, I wanted you on here to be the last person
yeah.
I get a chance to talk to because you just dropped another collection on your brand Represent Hmong. We're probably
Yes.
going to be talking about Represent Hmong. Probably going to be talking a little bit about Culture Clothing Co. as a big throwback for those people who's
Oh man.
been following our
Yeah.
journey. But yeah, going into it, let's just start right away with how did you come up
Hmm.
with Represent Hmong? I know the story, but I know a
Yeah.
lot of other people like my viewers, the people that follow you, they might not know the whole story behind Represent Hmong. So kind of take us
Mm,
back into what was your mindset and going into making Represent Hmong, thinking about and coming up with the name.
yeah. So I launched it back in 2018. But I came up with the idea in like end of 2017, so like November, December, and throughout high school and my undergrad, like we
Mm,
always wanted to do like our own clothing brand.
yeah,
We just didn't know really what to create.
right.
Um, and then I guess in 2017, while I was working at my parents' grocery store, and I was ringing up, a new customer, and obviously, I've never seen that guy before because
Hmm.
most of the people that come in are regulars.
Our regulars, yeah.
Yeah, and so he asked me like what Asian ethnicity we were, and so I said, I explained Hmong people to him, and then he's like he's never heard of us. Like this is the first time he's ever met Hmong people or even heard of the word Hmong,
Mm,
and from there on, it kind of just sparked this idea in my head that it seems like we've come such a long way, but really, there's so much people that still don't even know who the Hmong people are or have even heard of the Hmong name.
right.
And so I wanted to create Represent Hmong to kind of spread awareness of the Hmong community and of the name through modern day streetwear and designs. And what is it? I wanted the apparel to be more universal, um, like if that makes sense, just so that anybody, you don't have to be Hmong, can be comfortable wearing the apparel.
Yeah.
Um, which really is the ultimate goal for the brand is to spread awareness of the Hmong community and to have other ethnicities repping the brand as well. It just shows their support for the Hmong community and that they know of the Hmong community.
Hmm.
Um, and even if I put something just as simple as the word Hmong on, a T-shirt or a hat, um, I think that could really spark curiosity in other people to um, be curious of what Hmong is, and that can then, in turn, give you the opportunity to then educate other people about the Hmong community.
Right.
So, yeah, that's basically how I started represent Hmong, why I created it. In terms of the name, I'm not even like I don't even remember how I came up with the name. It just kind of um, popped up, and then I
It
just kind
was
of went
already
with it
there
because
pretty much.
yeah, because I didn't want to take too much time just thinking of a name. I just wanted to start creating designs and start producing apparel. So yeah,
Right. And I know there is a lot of other Hmong, I guess like Hmong based or Hmong
apparel.
inspired apparel.
Yeah.
Um have you ever
hmm
thought about like working with them and anything?
Um, I would. I don't think I've. I mean, I've done like before I even started. I did a lot of research on other Hmong brands, and I saw everybody kind of doing their own thing, right? But I guess for me, when I was looking at all their other brands, it just didn't really kind of line up with what I was trying to do. A lot of the other brands were very they were kind of similar in a way where it was
Mhm.
more targeted to just small people,
Mhm.
and obviously I didn't want to do that. So
Right.
um I have reached out to a couple. We've tried to collab, but um just l- time and life just never was able to make it happen. So
Yeah.
um but yeah, I mean, I would like to, but we'll just have to see what happens later
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, and also like talking about just being Hmong in general and like getting asked that question like what kind of Asian are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does kind of like did you create it out of like I don't want to say anger, right? But is
Mm.
it just out of like were you tired of just like, like um always having to say like who Hmong people are?
Mm, I wouldn't, not really, but like I just wanted the Hmong name to be more like visible to
Mhm.
everybody else.
To like
Um,
being modern, right? Not having to explain what that is.
yeah, or just seeing the name,
Mhm.
because a
Like
lot of people have never even seen
like
it.
they know what Chinese people are, right?
Yeah.
Korean people and like Japanese
hmm
people, right? And then yeah,
Yeah.
and you wanted to create it just so like we could say Hmong people, and they're like, oh yeah, we know what Hmong people are.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like the Hmong name has recently just started picking up traction, like within the education system, like just like the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so.
Yeah,
And now people are starting to catch on a little bit more. Um, but in terms of like apparel and things like that, it's not as big yet. So I kind of just want to do something different to,
right.
spread the name.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome, and I think it's really cool how like we can spread the word of Hmong people and the name of Hmong people through
Yeah.
different types of like creativity. You know what I mean? Whether it's like
hmm
art or design or education or like media. And right now we have like actors. You know what I mean? So I think it's really
Yeah.
cool how you took a spin on it and just said, you know what, I wanted to create a like a brand anyways. I'll throw in or I'll represent Hmong people through what I know and I want to do in the future anyways, right?
hmm Yeah.
And right now, like seeing that there's so many other like people that has creative outlets, do you ever want to collab? I know we talked about collabing with other apparels, but then like collabing with other like um like a certain artist, right? Like a
hmm
certain whether it's music artist or like just like a painter or something like that. Do you
Yeah.
ever see yourself in the future collabing with, anybody else?
Yeah. Of course. I I want to collab a lot more with like Hmong, like graphic designers.
Mhm.
So like even our cousin Jacob, I wanted to do at least in the future. I at least want to do one collection with him, um, and just have him focus on the graphic designs because I know he has a lot to offer, and I think he can really bring something that a lot of people would like,
Mhm.
and that's it's different. Um, but in terms of like other artists, like musicians and actors and things like that, I don't know. I guess I still have to do my research on who I can best bring in to collab with.
Right. To see if your guys' visions like kind of align.
Yeah, because I've worked with, or at least I've tried to collab with other artists before, and the visions were just never aligned, and
Right.
that's why the collaborations just couldn't work out as
Mm-hmm.
we wanted it to. Because like I have a vision for one thing, but then they interpret it a whole different way.
Right.
Um, so yeah, definitely people who have the same vision towards the same goal would
Mm-hmm.
definitely help.
Yeah, and when like designing your collections, because I know you have like 3 collections out right now, right?
Yeah.
Currently, yeah. So like
Yep.
when designing it and when coming up with the idea, what kind of like what do you think about or what inspires you to design those collections?
Um, I guess how I put my collections out is I focus on like a theme of what I want to do for that collection, and then for the designs, I try to make sure everything's kind of within that same, um, or at least fits within the same theme, so that it all kind of matches. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not just like random designs put onto one collection. And I know like a lot of other clothing apparel, they have like like they don't have like collections specifically, but they kind of just have a bunch of like different designs that they all put together into one website.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted it to be a little more organized, and yeah, like I said, just put a theme to each collection. Um, there's no like specific like meaning to any of it, but I kind of just want to make sure that all the designs are similar in a way, or
Right.
um, what is it? Just work with each other.
Yeah, because I know I can't remember your first one, but then your second one when I think the second one was the biggest one, your
Yeah,
the generations one,
yeah, that was
right?
definitely the best collection so far.
Mhm. Well, I mean the first one it was I mean I thought it was pretty big too, but then like that time I would say like you didn't really know um how your audience was going to react to it, right? But then I
Yeah,
think that by the second collection, I think by that time you already had a feel of your audience and how they're going to take it, and you already got
yeah.
into the groove of like designing and stuff like that. So I think the second one was the
Mhm.
biggest one. What about this third collection? What inspired you, and what like kind of like you said like theme did you
Mhm.
take off of this third collection that just came out?
So this third collection, it was so like going back to before when I was talking about how I wanted my apparel to be more universal, like
Mm-hmm.
so that anybody could feel comfortable wearing it.
Right.
And so this third collection, I all the designs were like it doesn't look like Hmong designs at all. It's
Yeah.
like completely different. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that I put in there was just like a thing, but like a small one,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And yeah, so this one I just wanted to make it completely different and kind of just see how my audience would react to it. Um, so far it's been decent, um, but I have been getting a lot of reviews that people like more when it's like with the thing or with the word Hmong
Okay.
specifically. Um, so I guess for the next collection, I'll probably have to make some adjustments and incorporate more. But yeah, definitely this collection, I just wanted to, try something new and just
Yeah,
see how it goes.
for
But
sure. And also like seeing those reviews saying like because your vision is like kind of like being universal, right?
mm,
With designs and stuff like that. So it's like seeing these reviews, does it actually like make you feel like different about what your vision is now? You know what I mean? Because it's like
yeah,
your vision is like wanting to spread the word of Hmong people and our ethnicity out there and make your clothing brand universal so anybody could wear it. But then
hmm,
uh I'm assuming that most of your audience and consumers are Hmong, right?
yeah, yep,
Yeah, so and seeing that like they want to, see more of that Hmong like being represented or not represented, but like Hmong on your designs, does that kind of
yeah.
make you feel like they're not really getting they're not really getting what you're trying to like do?
Um, I guess it's good in that terms. I think it might be a little bit on my end because maybe I'm not explaining the vision as clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I get those like feedbacks and stuff, it doesn't change my vision. Like I have a firm vision of what I want to do and
Mm-hmm.
where I want to go with this brand.
Right.
And because if I change it, then there's no point of creating this brand in the first place,
Right. And
right?
then you're just gonna end up being like the other brands pretty much, right?
Yeah, like no hate to the other
Yeah,
brands, but
yeah,
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 I want to
yeah.
be
I would say
I want to
that.
be a
No,
little
no
different
hate.
than the other ones. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I feel that, man. Because I do feel like because like I'm talking to you as like, your brother, right? Anyways, so it's like
uh,
I know what
yeah,
I know what you've designed and stuff like that. And you've ran designs by us all the time, you know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
and I've known the vision from the beginning too. So it's like it's interesting to see. Like I didn't even know people that like they wanted more like of the thing stuff and of the word Hmong on there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even guess that
Mhm.
because I guess like I already knew what the vision was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it is interesting to
but
see
honestly,
other
I think
people.
I think it's when people see my designs, I think they realize that it's a lot different than kind of what they're used to
Right.
from what should come from like a Hmong apparel brand.
Right.
And I want to change that image in people's mind, and just change up these designs so that we don't have to keep making designs that are similar
Mm-hmm.
or just having the same words on them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like most of them has like the word Hmong. Most of them has
Mm,
like the last names or something like that, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Or like
yeah, like many of them have like patterns, like
mhm,
Hmong patterns and the Thao.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nothing wrong with that, but all you're
Hmm.
saying is like that's not what your goal for this brand is anyways, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. And that's kind of how I came up with the thing design too, because as when I first started, I was doing all my research with what was out there already.
Mhm.
A lot of the other brands, they're focused more on like pattern design and the style design, very similar things. And so
Right,
that's kind of why I chose to do the thing because even though like the thing is such a staple in the Hmong culture,
right.
and it hasn't been like redesigned in any kind of way
Mhm.
um for like the longest time. So then that's kind of why I decided to do the thing to use it as the symbol of represent Hmong.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's probably one of your best designs is, the one with the thing on there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy how that I mean, I'm pretty sure people didn't even know this, but you created that with not even Photoshop or Illustrator from Adobe. You created that from like Google Picture or something like that, right? Or Google Image
Yeah.
or
Oh
something like
yeah.
that.
Because at the time I didn't even know what like Adobe was. I didn't even know what Illustrator was.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off with just like sketching on a piece of paper. While I was working at my parents' store,
Mm-hmm.
and like just doing the cash register, I would just like sketch designs. And I think I still have those papers too, but I don't know where it is anymore. But yeah, and then um, because all I knew was like Google Drawings. It was free and it was easy to use,
Right.
and that's where I just started, making designs on there digitally, and that's how I came up with the first collection. Which I
Mm-hmm.
look back now, like the designs were like I did not like. Yeah, I don't like the designs for that collection at all. But
I think I mean that happens a lot though, you know what I mean, with designs and stuff like that. It's like once you've already like cemented on what you have and what you're known for, and you look back
yeah,
like the first time you did it, it's not going to be like as good. Like my
mm,
first videos are not as good as my later videos, you know what I mean? So I think as a
mm,
creator of any kind, like your first time acting on the screen, it's not going to be as good as what your skill is at right now,
exactly. Yeah,
hmm
yeah. It's all
and looking
progress.
yeah, yeah, like the progress and stuff like that. So like
Mm.
what is your Advice for like people who wants to start a brand, because I know we've even struggled as a brand together, for our clothing
Mhm,
brand. So for somebody who is successfully having a brand, right, in the Hmong industry,
mhm.
what are
I
some
wouldn't say it's
advice?
that successful, but
Yeah, but then like
it's
it's still up and
relatively
going though,
small.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah, it's still up and going. So it's like I would say that's successful because it's like there's a lot of designers out there. There's a lot of Hmong, like including our clothing brand.
yeah.
It wasn't as good. I mean, it was good, but then like we
Yeah,
just didn't succeed in it.
couldn't
You know
sell
what I
it.
mean? So
Yeah.
then like what is your advice on like going into design, going into business for like people who wants to do a clothing brand or clothing designs or any kind of things like that?
Um, there's a lot, because like I could give a lot of advice because going through this process, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about what you can do.
Mhm.
And I guess the biggest advice I would give um, to anybody like wanting to just create a business or wanting to create something of themselves is honestly just learn to invest. Learn to invest in yourself. Learn to invest your time, your money, your energy, um, and just build on your strengths and what you're passionate about. And I think a lot of people kind of overlook like investing in themselves.
Mhm.
Like rather than or like they kind of just think like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy like a pair of shoes, like to like treat myself.
Right.
Like but like yeah, you just gotta learn to just invest your time into your craft and what you're good at, and just do things that would help propel you like in your career
Mhm.
and to get to wherever you want to be. And additionally, you always have to have like an end goal. Like you don't have to know exactly how you're going to get there, right? So
Right.
like when I first started, all I knew was I wanted to create a clothing brand
Mhm.
and make sure I launch it. I didn't know how I was going to get there. A lot of people think that I had like a roadmap on or like a blueprint on how I was going to get there
Mhm.
and what steps I needed to take, but in reality, like had no idea. But as long as you have like an end goal and like where you want to be, the process of getting there or it'll make the process a lot easier
Mhm.
because every day, you could ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now helping me get closer to, my end goal,
Yeah.
right? And that was definitely something that helped me and it allowed me to take the necessary steps to get closer to, launching my own online store.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you really have to. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of patience. Um, investing into anything really is always more long term than short term.
Right.
Um, but as long as you get to your end goal, I think that's a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is very important for other people to like just to hear, you know what I mean? Like it might
Mhm.
not it might not spark something in you, but then I think it's good to hear, good for people to hear and good for people to know that like you don't even know or you don't even need to know what you're doing as long as you want to know what you're doing and you have a goal for it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mean, like I think that's most of what as creators we do anyways. Like we
Mhm.
have an idea or we have a goal of what we do and what we want to achieve, but then at the end of the day, like I always just kind of like not go with the flow, but then like like you said, make sure I take the necessary steps to reach that goal anyways, you know what I mean? Whether that's
Yeah.
waking up and like answering emails or sending out emails or like
Mhm.
making sure like you you come up with like 2 or 3 designs a day, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, taking those necessary steps to just make sure you are closer to your goal than for being further away from your goal.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, I know a lot of people who kind of just go with the flow kind of type. I used to be like that,
Mhm.
and it never worked out because it never got me to where I wanted to go until I really started to change my mindset to start realizing that everything that happens in my life I have complete control of for the most part, at least.
Mhm.
But where you want to go and how you like what you want to achieve, those are all things that you have control of, and you just have to be disciplined enough and be self-inspired enough to push yourself to get there. Because when you're in this process, you don't have anybody telling you what to do.
Mhm.
Every step you take, everything you're doing, is all up to you.
Right.
But
Yeah, man, dude, I felt that too because it's like doing this whole thing is hard, right? It's hard and it's
yeah.
like it's not
hmm
even like I mean like it's fulfilling, right? Because I know that people like some people listen to it, right? And I know that people,
mm,
do support, right? Like you do have a lot of supporters too. So of
yeah.
course it's fulfilling, right? But then like sometimes when you achieve sometimes when you set that small goal, right? And if you don't achieve it, like of course it's gonna like, like kind of feel
Yeah.
like shit, right? And
mm,
or like your goal was to like come up with a collection or like come up with a certain amount of like guests on a podcast. It's like and you didn't reach it. It's like sometimes it's kind of discouraging, right?
hmm
So then like what is your mindset when you do get discouraged? Like when yeah, like get discouraged. I don't know if you get hate on your stuff. Like do
um
you even get hate on your stuff?
Not really. I mean, I've only had like one negative review, or not
Mm,
review, but like one negative comment. I don't remember what it was, but um, it didn't really like. Yes, it always hurts, right? But
mhm,
um, they're not seeing what I'm like trying to achieve.
mhm,
They're not doing the work that I'm doing. Um, and really, at the end of the day, what they're saying kind of just fuels me to push more and do more
right.
to achieve my goals. So yeah, I never see it as a negative thing. I always see it as just something to motivate me more.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's very important too because nowadays like it's hard. Not it's hard. It's easy to leave negative comments, right?
hmm
It's easy to do that stuff because of social media.
Yeah.
And it's scary to think about like if like younger people they want to hear and like they hear this and they want to start a business or they want to start a clothing brand or something,
hmm
but then they're afraid to do it. What's one of your like ways that you did it like that that you didn't care what was gonna happen. You just knew you wanted to do it. So what's one of your like I guess what's one of your advice is just saying like just to go and do it. It doesn't matter like what other
hmm
people say. You know what I mean? Because we can say that all we want, but then like nowadays there's so many like cyber bullies out there and so
hmm
many negative comments out there. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
what's one way that you look at it to see that like just go and do it?
It goes back to one of my courses I took a few years back, and one thing that they said that really stuck with me is that it's better to try and fail than to not try and never know what could happen.
Mhm.
And from just hearing that, it really it really changed my mindset to just give everything a try, because you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
You never know what's going to blow up and what's not.
Yeah.
So, and with all the like the hate, like being afraid of all the hate and stuff, um, you kind of just gotta cancel out all the noise that surrounds you, because what you know what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve,
Mhm.
and they're kind of just saying those stuff to try to put you down because maybe they're missing something in their life or they're not
Right.
satisfied with something in their life, you know. And but I think a lot of it is just mindset and perspective. If you if you're more sensitive, it's gonna hurt a lot more and it's probably gonna put you down a lot easier.
Mhm.
But if you change your mindset to use what they say to, just motivate yourself more and just push. a little harder, um, I think it could make the biggest difference in how you perceive things.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I've learned that from you too, you know what I mean? Like personally, like just changing your mindset about a lot of things can actually
Yeah.
change a lot of things. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I think that's like
Yeah.
a very very important thing to take in for like younger people and or just people in general that just wants to start something or like if they're unsure if they're going to start it or like because of what their friends are going to say because of what like online people are gonna
Hmm.
say, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just to yeah, like try it. Like you never know. You could be the biggest, like t-shirt brand in the world, but you wouldn't know that because you didn't start it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to switch gears and I've gotten a lot of questions about this and I know you've gotten a lot of questions about this too be like in the past like so what happened to Culture Clothing Co.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. It just kind of fell apart. It obviously did not go how we wanted it to go.
Right.
Um, and I don't know. I think we just marketed the the brand wrong because a lot of
Uh-huh.
people were confused about what the name was or even how to say it, or
Yeah.
everyone thought it was like an abbreviation to something, but when
Mhm.
really it was just culture. But um, nobody really understood, and we didn't really explain it well enough. So I think that was kind of our fault too.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was, like, we didn't do as much, like, explaining as we thought we needed to, because
Yeah,
I think we just thought that, like, we explained what it was, and then, like, everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it just wasn't like that, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people could learn from you know, culture's mistake. So that's why I want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, like
mhm,
going into it. I think we had I don't know we had the not fight, but then like we have like the biggest and longest discussion about what the thing was going to be called anyways. You know what I mean?
yeah, hmm,
I think just working with like two people was really hard,
yeah,
right? Because like because for you and me it was 50-50. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
for sure we both have to agree on it and for sure we both have to be happy with the decision that we're going to make because the business was both of ours, you know what I mean? So it had to be
yeah,
50-50. So I think what people can take away is like if you start a business by yourself and if you feel like you want to bring somebody on or if you and your friend wants to start a business together, just know
yeah.
it's going to be just decision making itself is going to be very hard.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean
But
like
it'll definitely help if you bring in someone who has a clear, like the same vision as you,
yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
And I think we did too, but then I don't know. There was just a lot of things that we just didn't agree on.
I
Um,
think we wanted to do the same thing, right? We had the same vision, but
yeah,
then at the same time like our visions would kind of get sidetracked. You know what I mean?
mm,
Cuz I know my
yeah,
vision like I know what I wanted to do and what I saw was like same thing as you, but then like there was so many things I wanted to do too, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I remember when we first started that. That was when I first. That was the same year I launched to represent Hmong too,
Mhm.
and so I was kind of trying to do both um, at the same time. But then because we did culture, I stopped with represent Hmong for a few months to focus on culture, and it just it just did not
And I
pan
also
out how we wanted it to.
I think like people just I think people got confused of that too, really,
Yeah,
because then they started thinking I did represent Hmong too. I was like, no, I don't even know.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think
So
some people still think that too, but
well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like
Hopefully,
because
if they watch this, it clears it up.
Yeah. So just to make sure, everybody, I have nothing to do with Represent Hmong. I only wear his clothes. That's all.
Yeah.
That's I'm just another consumer. I mean, yes, he does like run by like designs, but then like, I have little almost to no say on what he picks his designs to be. So it's like I have nothing to do with
Uh,
Represent Hmong.
yeah.
Yeah, just
But
to clear that up with people. But yeah, I mean, like with Culture Clothing Co., I know a lot of people were excited for it. Didn't know what it was. Um,
um,
Mad that we stopped doing it. I was like,
yeah.
what? Like, if you were mad that we stopped doing, like, why didn't you
Yeah, because
message
we
us
never bought
like
anything.
you wanted a shirt or something? You know what I mean? Because we bought a lot of shirts and we sold none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like we gave them away to our family
Yeah,
pretty
that was
much.
bad.
Yeah, I mean,
But
talk about
but
investments. You know what I mean? Like it was. I mean, of course, it was learning experience, right?
yeah.
Mm.
But but we never. Like I said, you never know until you try. So
Right, exactly. And now we know that we shouldn't do a clothing brand together.
yeah. Honestly, I think if we did it again and we were to go back, I think if we changed the name and gave it something that was more meaningful
Yeah.
and was easier to express to others and like educate others about, I
Mhm.
think it would have been completely different.
Yeah, because I
Um,
don't even honestly, I don't even remember what it was. I know I still have it in my Google files and stuff like that, but I think
uh,
the main vision was like creating our own culture through
yeah,
through clothing, like through streetwear. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I was
yeah. I
like,
don't
I didn't.
remember that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but we
Yeah,
did have some designs for the next collections that was going to
yeah. We
be
had a lot of cool designs
fire.
that. Yeah,
That's because we did bring Jacob in,
yeah. It
and
would have been dope if we were able to rock those.
that changed the whole like game when he came in.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
no,
he was actually like a graphic designer, right? So then like, and of course, like you and me, like we've known like he's an artist, you know what I mean? So like, of
mm,
course, it was cool to see our vision on what collection that was going to come out. And he actually
yeah,
put it to life. Like that
yeah,
J4 one, that one was going to be really good.
mm, yeah. We had a
Yes.
lot of like dope ones that I wanted to release too, but
Yeah.
just couldn't get there. So
Yeah. I
on
mean,
to the next business.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think that's true though. Like people do like, you know, see us doing things together anyway. So I do understand why they think that I'm in Represent Hmong, you know. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you said it best when you told me that pretty much me and Copper were just brand ambassadors. I thought that was funny. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true." I never
yeah.
even
I mean,
thought
you guys
about
basically are.
yeah, I never even thought about like myself being a brand
Yeah,
ambassador for it. I was just like, "Yeah, that's very true." I guess that's the best way to put it is that we're brand ambassadors. That's probably the closest way that we're into that too. So it's like, yeah.
yeah,
But also like with 3Y too, like we did that together too. So I think I know it would be a
yeah.
little bit like different. So like, wait, what? You guys aren't doing this thing together now? It's like, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, we did a lot together, but now it's just trying to do our own thing first.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the best
but
way because it's like we know we're gonna be doing other things together in the future, right? So
yeah,
it's like it's not that like we like just because culture didn't work doesn't mean like oh yeah now we're
mm,
not even gonna be business partners anymore, you know?
yeah. But honestly, I just want to see what like you and I could do on our own first
Right.
before we can actually bring in everything together or
Hmm.
everything that we know together
Yeah,
and
like
create
our own
something.
experiences and our own like
Yeah,
failures and achievements together, you know what I mean? So I think that's why I'm
uh,
going so hard on this now, you know what I mean? And I know you're going
yeah.
hard on your
That's
clothing
good.
brand too, so it's like
Yeah,
course, we're gonna be hitting our highs and our lows, and then once it's ready, then of course, like it's not gonna be the end of our projects, and it's not gonna be the end for people seeing us doing something together.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back. Something.
We'll be back. I don't know when, but we'll be back.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
we'll see.
something that people will understand, and we'll market it better.
Yeah, yeah. We'll give an easier name
Yeah,
to read.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
funny.
hopefully, we'll market it better. I mean, but hopefully by that time. But yeah,
Yeah,
so talk about other
definitely.
projects that we've done together. We've done 3Y together. We've managed
Hmm.
3Y. They're still growing strong. I think right now, I think this year they're really popping it out.
Yeah, I just hope they continue. Um,
Yeah, I mean, like from so like we got there. I don't remember when we got there, but it was just one day. We just said, yeah,
mhm.
like we could totally manage you guys. Yeah, we had a
Yeah,
big meeting with the group
yeah.
too.
It just made sense because we were business majors, at the time. So
Hmm.
they want to handle the business side, so they wanted us to come in, and since we were free too, so you know,
Yeah, and we were hanging out with them anyways. Yeah,
yeah, it just made sense.
yeah. I think
Um,
everything just came together, and it was very cool, and it was a very cool experience. I know I joke about
yeah,
it a lot. I joke about it a lot with Tuki, the rapper from one of the rappers from 3Y. I joke to him all the time that I could always come back and manage them. You know what I mean? But I think right now they're doing so
yeah,
good by themselves. I don't really think they need a manager right now, or
yeah.
like
I don't think they need a manager,
at
not
all.
yet, at
Yeah,
least. Uh,
or until they
um,
feel like they need one. You know what I mean? And I
mm,
know it's not going to be me, but I always joke
yeah,
to him about it. But
or maybe I don't know. That could be our next business. Just
managing,
manage 3Y again. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we were going to manage Copper when he went by himself.
and solo. Yeah,
Hmm. But I think
well,
like we're not brand ambassadors, but we're just like there with him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because we do direct his video music videos and stuff like that too.
That never got
That never
never
got
got released.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just sent him the other one too. Hopefully he drops that one.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't find
but
it on mine, so I couldn't send it to him.
yeah, but hopefully he drops it so everybody can see.
Yeah, man. And hopefully he drops his new song too, because that one's gonna be really good.
Yeah. Did he drop like
Yeah.
a teaser or something?
I don't know. I haven't talked to my phone's gone, so I haven't talked to him.
Oh yeah.
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 But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, going back into like that was a very sidetracked conversation. But yeah,
Yeah.
going back into like a represent Hmong and business and just making it your own.
Mm,
Last advice, because we are coming up to the end now. Last advice for other people who wants to create last things you want to tell, the viewers, your viewers that's gonna be watching this.
mhm.
What do you want to tell people like when when they see your brand and when they see your vision, what do you want to tell them?
Um, I just want to tell them, first of all, thanks to everybody who's bought apparel from Represent On. It means a lot. Just getting notifications that someone even bought something that I created is it's just a cool experience to just have. Um, but like an advice,
Yeah, I mean, like anything, like advice
hmm,
for people who wants to start their own business or start their own
yeah,
clothing brand, or somebody who you feel like spark an interest to. You know what I mean?
mhm. Yeah, definitely just find something that you enjoy doing and just pursue it. Like don't worry too much about how much money you're gonna make. Because most likely when you first start, you're probably not gonna make anything. Um, but yeah, when you first start, definitely my biggest advice would be to bootstrap everything as much as you can. Because you don't need to have the best resources out there just to start.
Yeah.
You can get by with, just very little resources. It's about what you do with what you have. Like a lot of people say that, but it really is.
Hmm.
And that's really where it shows what you're capable of and what you could do, just as a person. Um, but yeah, just honestly, just you just kind of have to start. Just
Hmm.
take that first step and just go for it. Because, like I said, you never know what's gonna happen, and everything's a learning experience. So even if you fail, you learn from it. And what's great about living in the U.S. is that even if you create a business and it fails, you can start again. You know, until you create a successful business.
Yeah, guys, you heard it here first. And also, your collection just came out. Is there any teasers
Yes.
or is there anything that's going to be coming out pretty soon? Or it's going to
Um,
be
it
in a couple?
probably in maybe in a few weeks, I'll drop some teasers for the next collection. Um, I'm not set on what I'm gonna tease yet, but it'll be coming out soon.
All right, guys, make sure you guys keep an eye out. And you got anything to plug? Your website, your Instagram, anything?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me at my Instagram, it's DC underscore Tao. Or if you want to represent Hmong, or if you want to if you want to check out Represent Hmong's Instagram, it's represent underscore Hmong at underscore apparel. I need to change that. That's way too long. But yeah, Represent Hmong on Instagram, Facebook, or the website. I think if you just type in Represent Hmong on Google, this should just show up. So
Yeah, I'll make sure to link everything down in the description like I usually do. DC, thank you for
uh,
so much for, sharing your side of the story with Represent Hmong, and everything you're doing, your vision for Represent Hmong and your brand is very cool, and it makes a lot of sense because we've been here for a while now and people should know who we are, you know,
yeah,
universally or not, even in town. That happened in your
mm,
town, you know what I mean?
yeah, and it's a
So
small town too. So
yeah, it's pretty small. So like
yeah,
what you're doing is cool. What you're doing is respectable, and I respect you for that, and I'm pretty sure a
thank you.
lot of people respect
Mm,
you for that too. And make sure you guys stay tuned for next year. This is the last episode for this year, but then of course I have many more to come for next year. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Oh, I can't hear myself anymore. Hold on. Okay. All right. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video to make sure people are passionate about their passion and their dreams and everything in between. DC, again, my brother, thank you for coming on.
of
And
course.
we'll see you guys next year. Peace, guys.
Yeah.